Bună, and here are 5 basic grammar tips you need to know if you're starting to learn Romanian. Tip number 1 is that the Romanian grammar, there's genders, there's female and male. This is like most other Latin and many other languages. So in Romanian, you can either have masculine or feminine. Again, it's strange in English, but it's very common in these languages. For example, here is un copac. It's masculine. But here, a little flower, o floare. So the gender affects the little words that come before and after. So instead of a, we have un for masculine, and we have o for feminine. And most masculine words in Romanian end in consonants, and they end in vowels if they're feminine words. So next time you learn a word, pay attention and ask yourself, is it un or o? It's a great habit to start building. Grammar tip number 2, the definitive article, the, comes after the words in Romanian. So it's the Romanian noun and then it's the definitive, the. It gets attached to the end of the noun, it's not separate and before like in English. For example, if we look at the tree again, copac means tree. But if we want to say the tree, it's copacul, copacul. So the article ul is at the end. Feminine nouns, it's just like at the end, stanca, it's banca at the end. So the A sound in particular of this word is indicating that it's the bench and not a bench. The grammar tip number 3 is that the verbs will change depending on who is doing the action. So Romanian verbs and most other languages are quite cool, so it depends on the action. This means that we don't need to have I, you, she, he in front of every verb all the time, unlike in English. So if we take the verb a merge, meaning to go, eu merg. He or she merge. So merg, merge. So you don't need to have the pronoun at the beginning of the words. It's same with the verbs to speak. Vorbesc, I speak. Vorbești, you speak. Vorbim, we speak. It actually saves a lot of time in speaking. You can speak a lot faster, and also you can tell from the context which pronoun should have been used. Grammar tip number 4 is that adjectives come after the noun. So this is all about the word order in Romanian. In English, we'd say a red car, or I don't know, a blue tree, for example. That'd be un copac albastru. So albastru here means blue, and that's at the end. So un băiat mic, a small boy. O fată mică, a small girl. So notice how mic and mică are at the end of the noun. This is the adjective. We also have the example o zi frumoasă, a beautiful day. Frumoasă here is the adjective. And grammar tip number 5, which relates to the third one anyway, questions don't need do or are. These auxiliary verbs in English aren't needed. This is something that I find many English speakers find difficult, but in Romanian you don't need these helper words. So instead of having do you have water, we can just simply say ai apă, ai apă. So it's just the verb and the object. Again, it's a lot quicker. That's all for this lesson. Make sure you check out my other videos just here on how to introduce your family members. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Thank you.